Hi, I'm Andre Faust. Well, it's been quite a week. I mean, we've had demonstrations down at the legislative buildings. Almost a trespass order's been given out to the demonstrators there. All kinds of fun things which only can happen here in Fredericton. But one of the more recent things that came up is the removal of the trees down at the government house. And this one's kind of interesting in the sense is that the rationale that was given for the removal of the trees, and it was for safety reasons. That a report was made. Look at my notes here to be sure that I say things right. The report was crime prevention through environmental design. Very interesting topic, but it's also quite abstract. Human behavior is not a simple thing. You can come up with all kinds of ideas on how to prevent certain things, but in the end, people will behave the way they will. A case in point, if you have a jail that's full of people, it doesn't matter who the person's in, it'll always be full. So what I'm getting at is that locks only keep honest people out. That's the reality. I know people that likes to think that the harsher the punishment or the more things. In the end of the days, it doesn't change the numbers. The numbers stay the same. The only thing that changes are the faces. One of the things that I do find particularly interesting about this particular report, and that's I'll be comparing that with the Bernard Richards report. This report was not posted on the city's website, nor was the cost associated with the report revealed. It almost looks like it was done quite clandestine. Now, the Bernard Richards report, which happened during the previous administration, during the Woodside administration, that report was posted on the city's website, and the cost associated with that report was also given. I believe it was $48,000 that it cost the taxpayers for that particular report, and it was a good report. It came up with 7 recommendations for the city police to take, and at the time it was Police Chief Leanne Fitch that was the CEO of the city police. I like that, CEO. And that the thing that was interesting about the Bernard Richards report was that the meeting that he discussed it, the report was open to the public. I asked questions during that meeting because, of course, I attended it. The media was there. They asked questions. A few people in the audience asked questions. Charles LeBlanc, because it did involve him, he asked questions. But everything was above board on that one there. This one here, because it appears that it was done in a very clandestine way, meaning that the public wasn't really aware, or no one really knows what the content of this report is. I spoke to one councillor, and they had no awareness of this. They never seen this crime prevention through environmental design. They never seen it. They heard recommendations from it, but they never actually seen it. So this lack of transparency in this matter, I guess it's best described in Hamlet, Act 1, Scene 4. And I like this line here. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark. And, that's where we're at with this here at this time here. hopefully through some of the applications through the right to information, more information will come out. I'm currently speaking with Eric McGarity on the subject, and so far I've got to say he's been pretty good with me. He's been answering my emails, so that's a plus. So what I did, I went down, of course, was after the fact with my little drone, and took some footage. I didn't go too high because a lot of details would have been lost, so I did record it. But on that note, before I wrap this segment up here, I didn't use the video footage because I couldn't get a hold of the person to ask permission to use their footage, but I did see their video, and it was the actual cutting down of the trees. And one thing I did notice, unlike when they were there to clean up the tent city, there they were all wearing the white suits and the gloves, and this here, the city workers, I assume they were city workers, were just, I think they might have been wearing the COVID mask, but outside of that they weren't taking any special gear. And why I bring that up is because I was told that one of the reasons why, because there was a whack of needles that were found there. Well, why was it on Tent City, on dismantling a tent city? They were treating it as a biohazard, and the people responsible for the cleanup were all dressed in protective gear. But this one here, there wasn't. So I'll end this segment with this, and we'll move on to the video. Up in the upper left corner, you see the graphic there with the cedar trees. Is what it looked like before the trees were cut down. The red dot represents the drone's flight path. But what we're seeing there is, cut down trees sticking out about 8 inches out of the ground. What I was told at one time, the reason why these trees were cut was because people were defecating there, and there was a lot of needles. Biohazard, I guess, is what they referred it to. But really, when they come down and cut those trees down, the city workers weren't wearing any protective gear, just their casual work clothes. Just while I think of it, there, those the colors of the trees. I mean, this is a really nice time of the year to be in New Brunswick. The changing of the leaf colors it makes it for a beautiful looking province. Yeah, so getting back to the biohazard and the defecation, what's kind of odd, the same thing was said during the dismantling of Tent City, but there, the cleanup crews, they were all dressed up in gear, the white suits and the gloves and everything. Yeah, so it makes you wonder, really, how much of a safety hazard are they talking about? Others, anecdotal tales have been told to me was a fear of somebody doing something against the lieutenant governor, which that's a very inert position. That position is no threat to anybody. So, right across Canada, the lieutenant governors there've never been any attacks on them. It is unfortunate they did cut those trees down. Those cedars were really made that area look really good. About the only good-looking thing there is right now is that Dodge truck, and all that tells me is that person has good taste. Right here, I'm a little higher there. I'm at about 15 feet there, trying to cover. But look what's all has been exposed. The electrical and the fenced-in kind of stuff. The aesthetics definitely wasn't something that was considered. Now, I've been told they're going to plant trees, and again, how they're going to plant trees in the same location. How much sense does that make? That's pretty wild. sometimes I get wondering what's in the mind of some people and that. So, you know, do you think this is more aesthetically pleasing, or do you find that this is more aesthetically pleasing? Anyway, that pretty well wraps this up. Till next time, take care.